wasn't diesel. I think they had helium in the tank. But he talking about he doesn't have the equipment to get me unloaded. And I see forklifts going back and forth. What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. And today is our first 2025 load is what I'm gonna call this video. I'm gonna call this video my first 2025 load. Man, we finally are on the road. Got my first load for 2025, and I'm actually heading to Cedartown, Georgia, and we're actually taking this load to Raleigh, North Carolina. So yeah, it's been a minute. I'm excited, but a little nervous as well. Getting back on the road. It's been a minute since I've been driving. So, but you know, as you can see, I'm back on the road. Actually, let me put my seatbelt on. Silly me. Really testing this new transmission that we got. This load here is about 2,500 pounds. What they said is some like steel rakings or something like that. They said, I don't know. We'll find out. I got about 25 minutes until I get to my location. But I wanted to pick up something light just to test everything out. But I mean, the truck is pulling fine. This trailer is pulling this new trailer just fine. So yeah, I don't really feel it. Honestly, I really don't even feel the trailer as I'm pulling it. It feels just like if I was, didn't have the trailer attached to it. But yeah, we'll see how everything goes. Hopefully everything goes well. Like I said, this trip is around about 289. I think it's 289 a mile. With this one here, it's paying $1,100. So good load. Picked this up from I think called Sureway Logistics. I picked this one up with. So yeah, man, good load, good first load to go ahead and start it off with. I'm actually gonna do this like y'all let me know. Actually, y'all let me know. I want to know if I should, y'all like longer style videos, like vlog style videos, or do you guys like shorter videos where I'm just kind of like getting loads and talking about things? So y'all let me know that. On this one, I'm gonna go ahead and just as you can see the title, I'm gonna do a vlog style video with this one just because it's been a minute and kind of going over everything as far as with non-CDL. And I wanted to answer all you guys' well, not all of them, but I want to answer some of you guys' questions, some of them that I feel worthy to answer, and then I'm gonna also implement my own questions or my own answers as well, my own questions and answers as well with this video. So I'm actually going to do the first one. What I want to do is show you guys ELD. The ELD. So ELD is short for electronic logging device. So there was a comment that I got posted right over here. There was a comment basically saying like, how do you track your logs? How does all that work? Does the system catch it itself? Do you got to write it down? What is it? How do you track your logs? So basically a backstory as far as with logs from what I understand. So before electronic logs came out, you had like manual logs. So you would have to physically get actual log paper, pen and paper, and you would actually put in like where you started at, where you stopped at, when you let's just say when you started doing on duty work as far as getting your load, when you were driving, your drive time, when you took your breaks and lunches, and when you went to sleep, woke back up, and all of those things. So short story is basically that was required as far as with all truckers, right? So everybody gets 11 hours of drive time, and you get 14 hours of on duty time, right? And then you also have to rest for at least 8 hours. in a day. If I'm not mistaken, it's 8 hours or 10 hours. I think it's 10. You know what? I think it's 10. But don't quote me on that. It's been a minute. But basically, what was going on was that the reason why there's electronic logs as opposed to manual logs is people were getting like two logbooks, two manual logbooks, right? And what was going on was that they would put on one of the logbooks the correct, right? They'll put the accurate times that you're supposed to do. So they would fabricate it, but it would be fabricated, but it'll be accurate as far as what it's supposed to look like, right? But then they'll have a second logbook. So they would hide one of these logbooks. It'll be somewhere in their truck or trailer or whatever like that. And they would hide the logbook of the one they're actually doing, the actual real one that they were actually driving. They were fabricating that book. I mean, not fabricating, but they were putting in like, they were driving from, let's just say they would drive from North Carolina all the way to California, but they would make it there, juiced up on like, I ain't gonna say, Red Bulls, Monster drinks, maybe a little drugs as well. But they would drive all the way there to California and make it in like 2 days, day and a half. They'll make it, and it'll be in their second logbook, which is totally wrong to do. But the one that they would actually show if they got pulled over, the one they would actually show was the one that they fabricated that actually looked like the actual time. So they will put in there that they made to California in 4 days, 5 days, or whatever. In that book, really, in actuality, they made it in like a day and a half to 2 days. So and driving straight, just going straight there. So people were getting caught doing that, and basically they implemented the rule that everybody needed an electronic logging device, and this here, it tracks it for you. So as soon as I start driving, my ELD connects. Well, let's just say it connects to the device, and basically what will happen as soon as I start driving, the ELD is going to automatically pick it up and catch it, right? And it'll already start clocking my time right there. So I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. Actually, once I get here, load up and all of that, I'm going to show you guys what it looks like when I get there. And I'll show you from the on-duty time to driving time, and then how it clocks your time from that point. But that was a good question, I felt, that was worthy to be answered. So I'll show you guys that, and I'm going to just continue to go through each question that I feel is worthy to answer, and we'll answer it throughout this video here. But so ELD, again, just to make sure I answer that question, is yes, your ELD is going to clock your time as far as driving. Now, as far as with like on duty time, so on duty time is, me, once I go ahead and attach my equipment or whatever, I'm pretty much on duty because I'm heading to a load, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and start driving to get my load. So that's going to be on duty time and my drive time, right? So now once I get there, and let's just say I have to sit there and wait for the load or whatever. If I wait a certain period of time, I'll go ahead and go off duty because I'm not working. I'm not working at that time. I'm just literally just sitting in my truck, and I'll go ahead and turn my truck off and wait. Now, once, they go ahead and tell me, hey, go ahead and come up, park right here, I'm going to go ahead and put on duty time at that point. And in that time, I'm actually working. Now, I'm strapping my loads and all of those things. I'm on duty because I'm actually working at that time. Let's just say now I pull out, I go from on duty to drive time. So I'm driving. Again, 11 hours of drive time, 14 hours of on duty time. Now, let's just say if I'm going to stop at the fuel station. If I go to the fuel station or whatever, I'm still on duty because I'm still working, right? But let's just say there is, let's just say like, man, it's backed up at the fuel station. There's multiple trucks there trying to get fuel or whatever. If I've driven or if I'm getting close to my 8 hours, because you got to take a lunch, at least a 30-minute lunch, every 8 hours. So every 8 hours, which you're going to only drive. So you're getting one lunch a day for 30 minutes. If I see that there's a back, it's backed up at the fuel station, and I'm like the third or the fourth vehicle trying to get fuel, and I'm behind this line, I'm going to go ahead, and depending on the time that I'm driving, I will go ahead and take a lunch, right? I will go ahead and take a lunch. So I'm going to go ahead and get out, probably, go ahead and do like a pre-trip real quick just to make sure everything, checking my straps. And I'm going to go ahead and probably go ahead and grab a bite to eat real quick. and just see whatever else I may need while I'm at the fuel station and waiting. I'll go ahead and take a 30-minute lunch. By the time that 30 minutes goes by, I probably already went and got fuel, and I'm gonna go ahead and head on out from that time there. So I would just say, as far as with trucking, you definitely got to know how to manage your time. You got to manage your time well, because you've got unexpected things that could happen while you out on the road, and you are trying to get to your delivery at a certain period of time. So, say for instance, like this load here, it's 11:30 right now, and of course I got plenty of time to get to my destination because they close at 3. So I got a time from 8 to 3 o'clock. And then also for drop off, I got from 8 to 3 to drop this load off. So during that time, I got to make sure that I get the proper amount of rest. I got to make sure I take my lunch. I got to make sure that I'm tracking, as far as where I'm trying to get to. I'm trying to track as much as possible. Now, this load I drop off tomorrow, so I got ample amount of time. But let's just say, if I wanted to pick up another load, those things also come into an effect and a play as well. So you just want to make sure that, I would say, as far as with trucking, a lot of it is going to be time management. You got to be great at time management and making sure that you communicate also with the brokers, with the shippers, your customers, and all of those things. You got to make sure you communicate, everything, especially as far as with your whereabouts. And you also have tracking as well. So they tracking me on this load, and most brokers, they're going to track you. There's very few brokers that don't actually track. Once you go ahead and sign the rate con sheet, and you off to the races from there. But I'm almost here, guys. Let me go ahead and continue to stay focused on the road, and I'll check back in once we get to the actual. All right, y'all. We just made it here, so just went on duty. So let me go inside the shipping office, talk to them, see if we can get this load on here, and I'll catch y'all guys once we get once they come with the freight. I'll come back on. All right, y'all. So this is the load. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a few straps on here with some corner protectors, and then I'm gonna also I'm gonna go underneath on those, strap those, put a couple straps on those, and we're good to go, man. So this is it. We're gonna head on out. While I'm doing this, though, I want to ask. Well, actually, I'm gonna answer one of the questions here. So there was another question asked as far as this dispatch. So with dispatch, what I would say for me is that I asked my wife, if she could be my dispatcher when we got into this business. And what I would tell you guys is that, again, the education is what you're going to need first before starting in the Hotshot, before starting into any business. Is you want to make sure that you do your research. Um, so what I did is I asked my wife if she could dispatch for me, and she ended up just doing the research. We talked with people that were into dispatching, and once she realized, what she needed to do to dispatch, the paperwork that's involved as far as with dispatching, all the back office stuff, we just made sure that we dotted our I's and crossed our T's as far as what we needed to do to dispatch, and we both learned pretty much together. I dispatched myself like this load here. I did this load. I got this load myself. Um, and while I'm out doing this type of work, my wife now can start looking for other loads, which she's been doing, and making sure that we continue to keep these wheels going. So I would just, to answer your question, is that you want to make sure that you get first, I would say, get yourself familiarized as far as with dispatch. Get yourself familiarized as far as booking loads. And the first key I would give you is whatever load board you're gonna go with. I use truck stop load board, but I would say you can go with DAT. There's other load boards, but I know those are two most popular ones.
but making sure that you familiarize yourself with the load board. I thought I had some more corner protectors, but now I got more corner protectors than that. If not, I don't have more. But what I would say is the key you want to do is get what like a free trial. If I'm not mistaken, I know Truck Stop has free trials to where you can go on there. I think you will need at least your DOT number and an MC if I'm not mistaken, and you'll need to put. Actually, I don't need these. I don't need these. I'm not checking that. I'm mostly at the top. But you can do a free subscription to where you can see what loads look like, see what the rates are going for. You can start seeing like what brokers you see like are the most consistent as far as posting loads. And you can actually reach out to the brokers and let them know like, hey, I got a new MC, I got a new authority. Are you willing to work with me? How can I get in good, with you guys? Most of the time what they want to see is they want to see action. They want to see you go ahead and get loads first. So I would say that, but you can at least familiarize yourself, start communicating with people um, before you actually get into the business, and see. Actually, you can also see whatever city or state that you're in. You can see what your loads are looking like in that city or state, even if to see if your city or state is even a fluent area that has freight. That would probably be the best advice I could give someone that is looking to get into the business. And as far as dispatching, you can get yourself familiarized first. I would say dispatch yourself. You'll know what rates go for. I mean, you'll know what loads go for. You know the rates. You'll be familiarized with it, and you can also and by you getting that experience, people can't rip you off. Uh, my wife, she does it for me, but again, I do it for myself. And if you want to go with a dispatcher, you can take advantage of somebody doing dispatcher service for you. Just know that there's going to be a rate or percentage that they would take out of every load. Most of the time, it's probably going to be 10 to 15% that they're going to take out of your load. So I would just say familiarize yourself with that and get somebody experienced that knows what they're doing, and then also get somebody trustworthy. So that's going to just answer your question as far as dispatching. But another great question as well. I would also implement that. Also, this is outside of the question. This is something that I just want to implement. Is one of the things that I was nervous about before getting into the business of Hotshot was securement. I never wanted the load to fall off of my trailer, and that was one of the most nerve-wracking things just to think about was a load falling off, and I was the cause of an accident, the cause of somebody being injured, or something even worse. So I would say also get yourself familiarized with securement. There's a lot of guys, man. I will watch like people like Hotshot Mac, Hotshot Benny. I will watch those guys and seeing like securement, seeing how they tarp. Even like people that I see now, like I went and talked to this guy in the 18 wheeler that's in front of me. And I would see them, even though I'm not an 18 wheeler driver or Conestoga or Reefer or anything like that. I would watch them. Like when I saw somebody tarp one time and saw how they did it, that's how I knew how to tarp. Making sure that the tarps don't fly off, or the bungees are secure, and with minimal risk of them actually popping off. So making sure that you familiarize yourself again. That's another thing you want to educate yourself with, because it's not just getting out here and just winging it. You want to actually know what you're doing, because you definitely don't want to get pulled over, and your stuff is not secure. So that's the first thing they do. They check. Well, I ain't. That's one of the things that they do when they check, as far as with inspections, is making sure that you know how to secure your loads. And that's the reason why Nowadays, too, this is another tip for you guys. With your MC or with your authorities, a lot of these people, a lot of the brokers, they want 1 year. And it used to be, 3 months. Some brokers would even take you the first month, or first, as soon as you get your authority, they take you. But it took someone that was a novice in securement to where it hindered other people. To where now they only want to see a lot of brokers only they waiting for 1 year for you to mature before they even take you as someone that can take a load for them. And the simple reason why is because there were people that were 3 months in, 4 months in, maybe even 6 months in, that were taking loads and it fell off. So now they're like, well, we're not gonna take anybody 6 months. We're gonna need somebody experienced that's been doing it for a year before we take anybody else. So I would say that's definitely another thing you also want to look into. So that's another thing I want to add is making sure that you do look and see about securement. Securement is definitely important in this business. You want to make sure you know what you're doing. But let me go ahead and secure this, guys, and let me show y'all the finished product. All right, y'all. So this is what the load looks like. Nowhere. So I end up using corner protectors. Not too much of sharp edges, but I know they can kind of dig into your strap. So just wanted to be safe and sorry. So what I did was 3 straps on the top over here. They said not to touch anything in here, no X's, none of that. So kept everything on the top. And then these I went through the X. So 1 strap on this pallet here, and then 2 straps over here. One thing that I like to do, this is just my own thing, is I like to add like this little twist at the top right there. At the top, I found that it never like really loosens up when I do this. So very rarely will it loosen up when I do it. And I also do it where it goes against the wind. So I don't keep it where this is hitting the wind. I always do it behind. So that's just the way I like to do it. But yeah, that's it, man. Let's go ahead, get in the truck. Let me show you guys what this ELD thing looks like once I start driving. All right.
All right, y'all. So let me show you guys the ELD. So I use Maytrack. Maytrack is only $20 a month. I know a lot of people do Motor, which used to be called Keep Trucking. A lot of people do that. They're very popular as far as with, especially with Hotshot or any type of trucking. But I went with Maytrack just because it's cheaper, and I'm trying to keep my money. I think Motive is like $70, if I'm not mistaken. So I use Maytrack. So right now, as you guys can see, it's saying on duty, and my time is going down. Right, so 12 hours, and now it's at 35:59. So once I start driving, so it's already paired. So I have a RAM, and this is already Bluetooth right here, right? So it's already connected, right? So once I start driving, so right now I just cut the truck on, and let's just say, let me see if I'm gonna go up here right quick, and I'm gonna show you guys. Oh, I need to go get my paperwork as well. So you make sure you don't forget your BOLs as well. So actually, let me go get my paperwork right quick first before I actually drive off because I got to get paid for this load. So, all right, let's try this again. All right, so now on duty, and you see now it just went back to driving. It automatically did it, didn't have to press any buttons. Now for on duty, I did have to press a button to take it away from driving uh, to on duty, just because I mean you stopped, so it doesn't know if you're sleeping, you took a break. It don't know if you're on duty, off duty, so it's not gonna automatically do that for you. But it will, once the truck is moving, it will automatically show that you are driving. And basically, you have to watch this. So if it gets down to, let's just say, if it gets down to, let me show you guys. All right, so let's just say, what was that? Oh, that was my brush. Let's just say you are on the highway or you're on the road and you are trying to get to a destination, but you see that your time is running out. And let's just say you don't get to the destination. You don't get to where you're trying to get to. You're still 30 minutes, an hour out from the destination that you're trying to get to. The truck stop, the job site, whatever it is that you're trying to get to. You couldn't get there in time and you go over that time. If you go over that time, there's going to be a violation that's going to come up on the screen, and it's going to say, your violation. Basically, you went over your drive time. You went over your 11 hours. What that's going to do is it's going to mark in the system on your system. Well, what happened is that you could, get your next load. It would nothing would, as far as right then and there, nothing would happen to you, besides you just getting on here. It's going to show you on there. It's going to show for like probably like I think 30 days, 14 days, 30 days, something like that. It's going to continue to show in your ELD that you got a violation. Now, if you drive and you get pulled over, the officer is going to ask for your logs. They're going to say, hey, they can say, hey, let me see your logs. Once they see your logs and they see that you have a violation, what can potentially happen, or what's really going to happen, is that you can get put out of service, to where they'll tell you to pull over, or you already pulled over. My bad, you already pulled over, so they're going to tell you to unlatch your truck and your trailer, and that you cannot deliver this load until the fine is paid or whatever. I haven't went through that just yet, but I've seen people go through it to where they either had pay a fine. Let's just say if it was your tires, whatever, they'll tell you to fill up your tires before you can get back on the road. Of course, fee will be installed for that, and also your insurance will go up. And I ain't talking about just a couple dollars either each month. I'm talking about a few $100s. It'll go up. Until that violation is off your record. So you definitely want to make sure that, and that's why I said time management is crucial in trucking and Hotshot. It's crucial that you have time management, that you know where you're going to go to. So like right now, I'm going to Raleigh. I won't, since I got time. I have 8 to 3 to drop off this load. Again, I want to make sure I drop it off early because I want to get another load. And most places are going to close around 3, 5. You got something that's 24 hours, but it's rare. So you want to make sure that you kind of ahead every time. So you're working, instead of working behind all the time or just working for that day, you're working ahead. Your mind is always thinking ahead in trucking. So you want to think about the next few days ahead instead of just thinking about just as far as today or what you got going on right now. So right now I'm heading to Raleigh, but I won't go to Raleigh because I got until 8 to 3 to drop off. I can wake up in the morning, go ahead and drop this thing off at 8 and be ready for my next load. Right now I'm not too pressed to book loads and stay on the load board and all like that, because I want to make sure that my truck, my trailer, because it's my first time pulling the load on this trailer, first time getting the load on with the new transmission. So I just want to make sure that everything runs smooth for right now, while I'm out, and not really hard pressing it. So and plus I got a pretty decent load on my trailer right now. So just want to make sure that everything goes smooth, make sure everything runs well, and then as I continue to go, I'll gradually get to where I'm pressing it a little bit harder. Also, too, I'm only working just this week because my anniversary, our wedding anniversary, is next week, which is the 4th. So yes, we already got things planned. We're going to Florida for next week. So I'm really just, like I said, just kind of like a light week that I wanted to do for this week, just to kind of of course, build some more capital, but then also test everything out that I got going on right now, until we come back from our mini vacation from my anniversary trip. But yeah, so I just want to let you guys know that that you can get fined and put out of service and your insurance. So it's like a domino effect that happen, if you get one of those violations. So yeah, man, just always think ahead, plan ahead when you're doing it. Again, you got to think about shippers as well, because again, you know, these guys, they get off work, they're not working all day on these forklifts, making sure that, you know, they put loads on your trailer. So you got to make sure that, you know, the early bird gets the worm in trucking, and it's true, because these loads go by quick. They post these loads, and you'll call a good load, and they'll go by quick. You know, if you think about it, you hesitant about it, you call and, hey, we just got the load booked. Before I got this load, there was another good load that had came up, and I was looking up trying to see, you know, if they were factorable with my factoring company. And I'm looking, you know, you put in the MC and you click, and it showed factorable. And man, once I did that, that little bit of time, I was just checking to see if they were factorable. I called and they were like, man, we just gave it away. Just let it go. But you know, if you you know, give me your name, your number, or whatever. If anything happens, I'll give you a call back. And that just lets you know, man, like the slightest little chances that you take, man, the load could be gone. But thank God we got this one, and we on to North Carolina now. So I'll stop off in Charlotte. Like I said, literally, you know, almost right at Raleigh, probably like an hour away, 45 minutes away from Raleigh. So and then I'll go ahead and drop this one on from there, man. So just wanted to give you guys that little quick little tip, and yeah, man, let me focus on this road. I got some time before I get to a fuel station. So once I got to fuel up, and also that's another thing, is I always try to fill up once I get to half. So once I get half, I already start looking for another fuel station. That's just the way I run it. You know, like I said, it's not saying it's the right or wrong way to do it, but that's just the way I do it. I always want to make sure that I got fuel, and that I'm never at a place or a city that there's not fuel, which I already know. I know this route already. I'm pretty familiar with this route, so I already know what fuel stations are around and where to go to. So yes, we good on that part. But yeah, guys, I'll come back again, man. Let me look and see if there's another question I can answer. All right, y'all. We just made it to Quick Trip truck stop, so I'm gonna go and get this. I gotta use the restroom, and I'm gonna also check on my load. But let me use the restroom first, then I'll check on the load. All right, let's check on this. Check on this right quick. Still tight. Tight. Still tight. Tight. Normally I also check my tires. Everything looks good. Load is secured still. We driven about 100 miles. So I think we are 189 miles away from Charlotte. So not too bad. Truck is doing well. Pulling the load pretty good. So I don't have no complaints there. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get a bite to eat. I already got a receipt, so he gave me my receipt.
gotta find a place to put y'all because my mount that I have up here, man, I guess it's too heavy, so it's messing up the vent. So I guess I'm gonna keep y'all guys like this. So yeah, we pretty much like on the border of North Carolina. So I don't really have too much further to go. Probably got about another 2.5 hours in the trip or so, 3 hours or something like that. But yeah, let me go ahead and I'm gonna actually I actually got my cooler back here, so I'm gonna go ahead and make some, and I'll show you guys what I'm gonna eat. And I'm gonna actually go ahead and turn this to off duty as well. So let's go ahead and go off duty. Let's see, we're gonna just do a shift break. Actually, no, we'll do a 30-minute break. All right, so we off duty, and let me go ahead and make this real quick. All right, y'all, this is what we eating. Made by yours truly. And I also, oh yeah, let me show y'all. I also got a bowl of fruit. So we'll be tapping into that as well. But I wanted to get into a question, but I don't really want to eat. So let me eat first and then answer the question, because I don't want to be answering y'all a question with my mouth wide open. All right, now that we finished eating, I wanted to get into a question that's probably the most asked question, and I think this goes across the board as far as with Hotshot, whether if it's CDL or non-CDL. And that question, y'all let me know I had some mayonnaise on my lip. But the most asked question is Hotshot still worth it? Whatever year. I see that video all the time is, Hotshot worth it in 2024, Hotshot worth it in 2025. And let me answer that question. And like I said, there's not really a right or wrong with that question, because I believe that question is all individual based. But it depends on the person, whether if it's worth it to you, right? And that's why I keep saying, and I think throughout this video, I'm going to keep repeating the same thing, is you got to do your own research to find out if it's worth it to you. You guys know the load that I got on my trailer right now. The load is from Georgia to North Carolina, to Raleigh, North Carolina, paying $1,100. This load will get delivered tomorrow, right? Tomorrow this load gets delivered and $1,100 goes into my account. Well, taken out. So my factoring company that I factor with Truck Smarter. They take out, it's 2.5% that they take out. So you guys take 2.5 out of $1,100, and that's what the factoring company, and the rest of that comes directly to my account tomorrow. So I make that money tomorrow into my account, and I move on to the next load, right? And you decide if that's worth it to you. For me, Hotshot is still worth it. Whether if it's CDL or non-CDL, don't matter. To me, it's still worth it. I would just say is that you just got to look at what is your monthly cost, not just truck, trailer, and commercial insurance and all of that. I'm talking about on top of your mortgage or your rent, on top of cell phone bills, credit card debts. We have another vehicle, right? We have another car outside of this truck. Your insurance for your car, insurance for the car, and also your car payment if you got one, cell phone bills, gas, water, lights, all of those things take into effect. If you can take all of your debt, and on top of, if you don't have a truck already, get a quote for a truck, or just add in a payment for a truck, right? Depending on what your credit is and type of truck you're looking for. Go ahead and get a quote for insurance, commercial insurance. You're going to need 3 of them. You're going to need your liability. You're going to need trailer. And you're going to need cargo insurance. Cargo insurance got to be at least $100,000 to get into the Hotshot game. You also got to have $1 million policy. The minimum requirement is $750,000, but most brokers are going to look for $1 million policy. And you also got to have insurance for your trailer as well. So all 3 of those insurances, reach out to an agent and get a quote on that.
If you are going to get a trailer, if you're going to do lease payments, if you're going to, finance it, or if you're going to pay it all outright. It just depends on what your lifestyle is and the type of money that you want to make in Hotshot. Is going to come with the amount of work that you got to put into it as well, right? So, if you got that excessive amount of debt, then you're going to be out on the road a lot more. You're going to be taking a lot more trips. You're probably going to be doing a lot more long distance because, those are sometimes the loads that pays the most at times. So it just depends on the lifestyle that you have right now and the lifestyle that you are trying to maintain, and see if Hotshot is worth it. For me, like I said, you guys know this from day one, is that I go for $1,000 a day. That's my goal. That's, pleasing to the lifestyle that me and my family have, to where we can live comfortably. Again, we not people that's trying to get rich, right? We want to be able to sustain what we got going on now and continue building on that to where we can actually help out other people. And that's the reason why we got into the Hotshot game. It was not to try to get out here and get rich. And I'll give you guys this. Matter of fact, while I'm thinking about this, I was talking to my barber at one point in time, and he was telling me about a guy that he was cutting, and the guy was in Hotshot. I think he had CDL, and he was running. And he was making $40,000 a month from what he told me. I don't know if it's true or not, but I can only take from what he said. He was making $40,000 a month. And this was, I would say, last year, probably around the same time, right? So last year, he was telling me this, and he was like, man, he running it up. And I was like, okay, I mean, that's good for him. If he doing that, he making $40,000 a month, that's good money, for him to be doing that. And I was just like, but I just wonder what kind of loads he's getting. I wonder how much is he out of his house. If he has a significant other, if he has somebody that he is dealing with, I wonder how often do, they see him. If he has children, I wonder how much he sees them. If he sees his mom, his dad, whoever. I just wonder how much time is he spending out of just going out here to trying to get a dollar, right? And I spoke to my barber about 3 weeks ago, and he out of the business. He ain't even, and then the thing about it, I asked him like the reason why. I'm trying to get more details on it. Wouldn't even tell me why. I don't know. And I say all of that to say is that, man, at times, man, that money is just not worth it. You get so burnt out, ripping and running, doing the same routine every single time, and all of a sudden it don't even become something, pleasing to you anymore. It doesn't come fulfilling. It doesn't fulfill you no more, because all you're doing is just chasing the money as opposed to creating an experience or, trying to help out other people, putting other people on information and game and helping them, motivate them to either get into it or start their own, business. And, he out of it now. So that just goes to show you that, man, no matter how much money you're making, I don't care if he was making $100,000 a month, it still wasn't going to be rewarding for him because, again, he's just chasing that money, and money will never be fulfilling. It will never be fulfilling for you. So if that's what you get in it for, I'll say find something else. Find something else, man. I really don't. I really don't see, what you're gonna get out of it. Again, it's gonna only be so long to where you're gonna get burnt out on it. So hopefully that helps somebody. But is Hotshot worth it in 2025? For me and my family, it is. It is. I don't know. Like I said, I can't answer it for somebody else, but for me and my family, it still is. There's still loads. Man, I got on here this morning, man. There was still loads from yesterday. I would say this. There were loads from yesterday. It was like 121 loads in my area, right? 121 loads that I could call and try to book. Now, granted, out of those 121, a lot of those loads were like duplicates. People putting those loads 2, 3, 4, 5 times, on there trying to get somebody to bid on it. So maybe it's probably 75 loads or 60, 75 loads. But again, and then get up this morning, there's still 130 loads still sitting there waiting for somebody to bid. And again, a lot of those were duplicates. So that means it's probably 80 75, 80 loads that were on there ready to get bidded on. So I would just say, man, the loads are still there. There's still new brokers always coming up every single day. So I would just say, man, it's still a lucrative business. It's still a productive business, and money can definitely be made. Is it oversaturated? I agree to an extent. I believe it is oversaturated. A lot of people are getting into it, but then also too, I believe same amount of people that's getting into it, same amount of people are getting out of it. It goes right back to the story I just told you guys. So yeah, man, it's still money to be made out here. There's still loads to pick up. So hopefully that helped you guys. I think that's gonna finish out my break. So yeah, man, I hope that connects with somebody. But let me get back on this road, guys. And I believe next time is going to be when I'm actually in North Carolina. So I'll see you guys. We are back. We are back at Quick Trip. I gotta put more fuel. I'm convinced that the last Quick Trip I was at, it wasn't diesel. I think they had helium in the tank. I really do. I really believe they had helium. That gas or that fuel went so quick. And mind you, only went 60, 70 miles. And I'm right back at half. Mind you, though, it didn't get me at full what I put in there. So I will give it that, but ain't no way. Ain't no way that fuel went that quick, but we back. This time I'll be able to fill up. This will be the last trip, or the last fuel trip that I make today. Oh. So the next time I believe I get fuel will be after I deliver this. After I deliver this load will be the next time I get fuel. But yeah, we almost there. I think we still in South Carolina, man. I was stuck in traffic, man, for about 20 minutes. It's rush hour time, so. But we almost there. Still got to keep going, but we right there on the cusp of North Carolina, so. Probably about 60, 70 miles away. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and fill this up. It's already done. Matter of fact, while we're here, we might as well go ahead and check the load, right? Still.
also, I noticed that these screws came off of here, so it's not able to even lock this on here. So definitely got to complain about that. Even on this side too. So definitely going back to go get some more screws for that. Those are good. Yeah, because that's unacceptable. It's a brand new trailer. Screws shouldn't be popping off. But this time I just came to get fuel. We out of here. Let me actually catch y'all when we get to our destination for tonight, man. So I'm gonna sleep in Charlotte tonight. Yeah, so we're gonna sleep in Charlotte tonight and get up, head to Raleigh from there, deliver the load in the morning, and then by that time we should be able to get something back. We're definitely coming back, man. I normally find good loads in Charlotte, Raleigh, North Carolina area, especially going back to Georgia as well, because we already got a load for Thursday. So Thursday we already got a load. I'm literally going, it's like 160 miles. It's like 160 miles. It's actually from my hometown, which is in Alabama. I'm actually gonna pick a load there and then head back to Georgia. So what I'm looking for tomorrow is somewhere around the Alabama, Georgia, or even Tennessee area. I'm looking more like Chattanooga area. But if I can get a load from North Carolina or even South Carolina going back that way, will be ideal. But that's the way we're gonna do it, just because we already set up a good load for Thursday. And then again, like I said, I'm only working just this week, and then maybe Monday, and then I'm gonna try to go ahead and pack everything, because we're gonna be heading out. So now, actually Tuesday I may end. So yeah, and then Wednesday I'm gonna go ahead and pack up everything, get haircuts, get the boys haircuts, my wife nails done, and all that stuff, getting ready for the trip. But yeah, so trying to work smarter, but not harder. So that's the game plan. But let me go ahead and get to Charlotte, and I will catch y'all once we make it to the destination. All right, what's going on, guys? It is next day. Right now we're about to get on the road, but I had to get a bag of ice. But we got the ice. I already brushed my teeth. I washed up last night, so we can go ahead. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and do a pre-trip real quick, making sure everything is good on the truck and trailer and the load as well. And then from there, we're gonna get out, go ahead, drop off this load, and see what we can find to get us back closer to, since we already got one tomorrow going to, well, it's in Alabama going to Georgia, so see what we can find right quick. But yeah, man, feel good out here in Charlotte. So yeah, I'll see y'all when we get to the drop off. All right, y'all, we just made it. We made it here, but I got to figure out who's going to get me unloaded. So let me walk inside this office and see who's gonna get me unloaded, and then from there we'll figure out what we're gonna do about another load, or how we're gonna go about this Thursday load. I don't know yet, but yeah, let me get back with y'all. Well, we spoke with a person, but he talking about he doesn't have the equipment to get me unloaded, and I see forklifts going back and forth all in this big warehouse. And he telling me that he doesn't have the equipment. He's saying that the rackings are too long to get off when they use the forklift to put it on here. So right now he's trying to figure out from somebody else, I guess a supervisor or somebody, to see how he's going to get me unloaded. But right now we're just sitting here and we're waiting. So in moments like this, I'm about to cut off my truck, go off duty, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start looking for another load. So initially he wanted me to park in between these two trucks right here. So that's the first thing I did. I parked, and he was just like, oh, you got a flatbed, you got an open flatbed or whatever. You don't have, 18 wheelers or whatever. So he was like, all right, we can't unload you at the dock. I'm thinking you just got pallets and we're gonna just get you unloaded at the dock. Well, they have this door right here. I was just saying is get a forklift to come down here and just get me unloaded. Go back up, put the stuff back in there, and I go ahead and leave. But I guess that's too complicated. So we're gonna see what they're gonna say and what plan. I'm pretty sure they're gonna take exactly what I said, is that they're gonna use this door here to get me unloaded, but we'll see. They back, looking to see what they're gonna do. I was just about to eat some breakfast, some cereal, and we about to see what they gonna say.
Man, how you doing?
How you doing, man?
You see that big garage door right there?
Yes, sir.
You think you can back around as close to that as you possibly can?
Yeah.
All right. Back you around as close to that. We got a plan that we can try to get these off, okay?
Okay.
All right, and then we'll have you undo the straps. We want to leave the metal straps on the wood. Leave it like that.
Yeah.
But just undo your straps, okay?
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Okay. Is this mine or yours?
That's yours.
Okay.
I got a copy here.
Okay. Thanks.
All right. What I tell you? So they want me to back into this door, and they're gonna get me unloaded. All right, man. Before we eat, let's go ahead and back in here. You need like this pushed in, closer to you. Oh, you stuck. All right, man, that's it on this load. We finally got unloaded. Had to go bring a box to him that I forgot I put in the back of the truck, but I took that to him. I just finished my post trip. So now what we're gonna do is I gotta fill up now. We're a little less than half a tank, so got to go to a truck stop and go ahead and fill up. And from there, we'll go ahead and get on the load board, look for another load. We saw a couple of loads my wife was looking at. Nothing worth, really us trying to get. So I'm not sure how this is about to go because we already set up for Alabama tomorrow. And I'm trying to get as close as I can over there. So most of the time, man, the loads post. Sometimes they post a little late when they want you to, get to a distribution or some type of like warehouse they want you to get to. So sometimes they post kind of late from what we've been seeing lately. So not too worried about trying to find a load. And if anything, man, I guess I'll just head back to Georgia, head home from here. I don't really want to deadhead that far, to be honest with you. So it's either me deadheading back and then picking up that load tomorrow to take to Georgia, or canceling that load, trying to see what I can find out here so I don't deadhead, and then finding a load Thursday and then having a load today. So that's the decision we got to make, but I'm gonna try to figure that out. I still got a few hours before most of these places start closing, so we still got some time. But let me fill up first and then figure out what we're gonna do. And also I got to get back to y'all questions as well. So let me go ahead and get to a truck stop, and I'll see y'all in a few. Top of the morning, guys. It is 6:33 and we are actually in Georgia. So just to kind of give you guys an update, because I haven't been recording, but really didn't find anything in North Carolina. So I ended up just coming over to Georgia, which wasn't, like I said, wasn't too bad. I had the deadhead over to Georgia. The brokers, there was a load that would have brought me to Georgia. And we reached out to the broker. The load wasn't even all that great. But honestly, it would have been something that would have gave us, of course, money for deadhead, but also it would have gave us some money in our pockets as well. But the broker posted it, and we reached out. We give a phone call first, got the voicemail, and then in the voicemail it was saying, the best way to reach me is through text. So we sent over a text message, and the guy replies back, was like, yeah, the load is still available. And we like, all right, send us over a carrier package, because we won't believe that we worked with you before. So send over a carrier package and we'll go ahead and pick up the load. Mind you, the load was like in Spartanburg, which is like right before you get to Charlotte. So, and I already headed back to Charlotte. Once I dropped off the load, I chilled out there, because Charlotte seems like it has more loads than it does in Raleigh. So chilled out in Charlotte, which I'm a few minutes away from Spartanburg, and God never replied back. So I pretty much just sat there waiting for the package to come and thinking that he was going to send it so I can go ahead and pick up the load. He didn't even reply back. So I don't get it, where a broker posts a load, they want this load, I'm assuming that they want this load picked up, but then don't reply back, don't answer. And that's why I say, man, like, you can't trust these brokers. Like, your brokers are not your friends. So so after a while, I was just like, nah, I just need to go ahead and head back. I'll just go ahead and eat that, which again, man, I probably spent, I think, $80 in fuel just to get back from Charlotte to Georgia. It's not a bad ride. So, but yeah, man, we on to go pick up this next load. This load here is paying $700. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick this on up. I think they told me I can pick it up at 8, so I got a little time. But I'm gonna go ahead and start heading over there. But first, I gotta go ahead and get some ice, and I gotta use the restroom. And then from there, man, we'll go ahead, head over there, pick up this load, and I'll see you guys once we get to the spot. All right.
All right, we finally made it to our pickup. So they about to get me loaded. I think it's supposed to be some HVACs. They said it wasn't gonna be big, but we delivering to a Dollar General. So we're gonna see what this load looking like first. I think it's supposed to be like 6 HVACs. I think it says it's gonna be like 4,500 pound load, but we'll see what it's looking like, man. 'Cause right now that's already looking like it's heavy. But let me see. I'll get back with y'all. Yeah, it is. Brand new. Yeah, so about this load, when I initially called about this load, I believe Tuesday I called about this load. And there was a guy that already had booked it. And he was like, I'll call you back if anything happened. The dude dropped out. I think I told you guys this. And then I got this load. But the guy, the crazy thing about this, and I told you guys, like, never trust brokers, is that, like, he literally waited. So, like, there's something called My Carrier Package, right? My Carrier Package is like a package. Normally, like when you first start out, it's gonna be the first thing you get sent to you is gonna be My Carrier Package when you call a broker. So when you call a broker and you try to book a load, they're gonna say, all right, you need to fill out My Carrier Package, or you gotta go to Highway, which both of them are like portals where you put your information in, and they basically make sure that you check off on every part of their system that you can actually work for them and you can pick up their load. So your authorities, your insurance, making sure everything checks out, right? You'll get something called an RMIS number. You want to keep that number. Normally, I think it's like 6 digits, 5 or 6 digits. You want to save that number because anytime you log in, they're going to ask for that RMIS number, and you put that in, and it should already load up everything in there for you. So the first time you'll fill it out, of course, manually, and then after that, it will put everything in there. All right, the gentleman wanted to be let out, but so back to what I was saying. So you fill it out, and basically that's what you'll have. So My Carrier Package, right? So for me, when I reinstated my MC, my authorities, My Carrier Package was like invalid. Everything was from my old, insurance, everything old, right? So I needed to update everything on My Carrier Package, which all it was just my authorities. They just needed an updated COI, which is a certificate of insurance. So the guy basically, like, when he was like, give me your MC so I can see if you can pick up this load for me, because I never, we never worked together. He basically saw that he was like, hey, everything is invalid on my end. You might want to call My Carrier Package to get everything updated. He literally waited. Like, most brokers won't do that. But he literally waited until I called My Carrier Package. Mind you, My Carrier Package, like I said, everybody calls My Carrier Package. So everybody's trying to get it. It took me hours to get, honestly, it was just a click of a button, but it took me hours just to get connected with an agent. He waits. So I was like, hey, I spoke with him or whatever. So then he was like, all right, I'm going to send over the package. He sent over the package. Then he was like, I need your insurance to send over the COI to me. You can't do it, or you got to send it to this direct email address. So I'm like, all right. Had to call the insurance, have them send over the COI over to the email that he sent to me, and he still waited. Most of the time, they're gonna go ahead and give this load to somebody else that's already ready to go. That's most cases. That's what's going. They not finna hold no load. This dude held the load all the way, and then I ain't signed the Raycon sheet until yesterday. He sent everything over, like I said, Tuesday. Once we got everything, so. Man, shout out to this broker, man, that he waited. Man, it was a quick ride, man. Quick 700 for this one. So, guys, I'm going to go ahead and head. I'm not too far. I'm going to go ahead and drop off. We already got a load for tomorrow. So, thank God for that. It's a local load, too. So, it's literally like
a few minutes away, Lawrenceville to Gainesville. So that's gonna be a quick $200 local load. And then yeah, we'll pick up another load from there. We already got two. Man, I had brokers reach out to me today, saying like, hey, are you empty? Hey, are you in the city? To where you can pick up this load. So I could have got another load today. You know, it said, you know, you can pick this load up at 8 o'clock. And he wasn't trying to pay nothing. So I was like, nah, it's not worth my while. Again, I told you this is just a light week for me. I'm not really trying to, you know, stress and get all, you know, hype about it. Because again, like we leaving next week, so I ain't trying to hem myself up with loads and, you know, delivery dates and all of that stuff. So, but yeah, guys, we out. I'm gonna go ahead, park everything. I still got a little less than 3 hours of drive time, so I'm not too far away. But yeah, man, I'm gonna go ahead and I don't know if I'm gonna end it today or if I'm gonna show y'all the load for tomorrow. I know tomorrow will be better because we already got the load. I'm gonna pick up early in the morning, and then from there, you know, the possibilities are endless. I mean, because like I said, I'll probably drop that off, and I think it's only an hour away, if that. So, so yeah, man. I don't know if I may continue recording until tomorrow, and then I think I'm gonna go ahead and close it out for you guys. But we'll see how tomorrow goes, and then from there, I got y'all. All right, but y'all continue to stay tuned. Oh yeah, make sure y'all like, y'all comment, y'all subscribe, man. If y'all continue to, you know, if you at this point, go ahead, man. You might as well go ahead and subscribe, hit that like button as well, and continue to stay tuned into the channel, man. All right, guys, we made it. We made it to our drop-off location, which is a new Dollar General. And just like I said, man, they put everything outside. So I don't know why they wanted me to tarp it, but the guy, hey, he gave me the option. He said, hey, it's on you. I don't know what the weather is looking like out there. And I was like, man, it's blazing hot. And I don't see where it would rain, which it did rain a little bit, but we ain't gonna say nothing. But man, I mean, it was a quick little rain on it, and we got there. Like I told you, man, everything was all protected. But we here. Let me show y'all what the job site looked like. There go the HVAC units right there. So yeah, this is the job site. Be taking the rest of them over there, and this wasn't a bad load, to be honest. Yo, what is up, guys? It is the next day, so we are actually already in Lawrenceville. Over here, stopped at the Quick Trip. I actually parked my trailer over here at in Lawrenceville last night, so I actually was able to go home last night and sleep, actually in the bed. So but we here back now, about to go pick up this load. I think it's right down the street from this Quick Trip. So so yeah, man, I'm gonna go ahead, pick up this load. I think we got a 45-minute drive to Gainesville, and then from there we're gonna figure out what we want to do as far as for another load, or if we want to go ahead and just close it out for this week. I actually wanted to sit on a load, to be honest with you, and possibly drive Sunday, depending on where this load is at, wherever we pick up at. A lot of the loads, man, that they're calling on, because they've been calling us as far as for loads for today, but they just not trying to pay anything, and the load been sitting there. So there was one load he trying to just pay $450, but he want me to deadhead 100 miles, like a little over 100 miles, but then want me to drive 300 and something miles. I'm like, I'm not doing it for $1 a mile. I don't care what the rate, what the weight is. I'm not doing it. Like, you need the load, you know, delivered over there, you got to pay. So, and I just did a load going to North Carolina, got 1,100. So you only trying to give me $450 for, you know, a 7-hour, you know, 6-hour drive. So, but yeah, man, we're gonna go head over here to this pickup location, and then from there we'll drop off in an hour, and yeah, guys, that's what we're looking at for this morning. And then after that, we'll have the rest of the day to try to book another load. Let's see. Let me show y'all my time reset right quick. All right, so y'all see here, off-duty time remaining, which it's just a time on there. It's not really an actual time for off-duty. You could be off-duty as much as you want to be. But time reset, 11 hours, 14 hours, 30-minute break. You know, and this is the 70 hours I was telling you guys about. This is what I want to show you guys. So 70 hours, and right now, out of that 70 hours, I've used up 30 hours. So once that hits 0, I gotta go ahead and shut it out. Or if it don't even hit 0, if I just rest for a day and a half, it'll automatically reset all of this back up to 70. So you have 8 days or 70 hours. All right, so just wanted to show you guys that. Just some of the things that I feel like people don't talk about as far as your ELD, your electronic logging device. And again, the system automatically puts this in there. So none of this stuff I had to put in there. All this came, you know, once I got the ELD, shipped it, you plug it up. And this is where you plug it up at. So yeah, you're gonna plug it up here. And then you have your actual device right there. So that's my actual device. I just got some Velcro and I think some tape, and I just got it stuck up there. And then this is what everything is connected to. So once you drive, it's automatically gonna catch it in there. So I just wanted to show you guys that. All right, but let's go ahead and head out. I'll see you guys at the pickup. All right, we here. Just made it. Wasn't really up the street. It was about 7 miles away, but we here. Let me go over here and talk to the shipping team. I'm at receiving. I think I need to go. I'll go right here. Yeah, I see a guy on the forklift right now. So let me go talk to this guy. Y'all didn't let me know I had lint in my beard. But let me go talk to this guy, get this load. It's only 100 pounds. So it's gonna be a light load. And they want me to tarp it, man. So we're gonna see about that as well. All right, let me holler at y'all. All right, so he does want me to go down to the shipping end. So let's drive down there this way. All right, so we are about to get loaded. There's a lot of Conestogas out here, but it's only 100 pounds, man. We're gonna put it at the front. See what else we can get. I don't know. Well, I think it's some metal. I also need to go ahead and get my tarps. Let me I'm gonna actually set y'all up, and I'm gonna go ahead and tarp this load. You guys will just watch me tarp. know, I feel like I put a lot into tarping this load, but hey, gotta keep it professional. Gotta make sure that, you know, I treat people product the way I want it to be treated. So I think about picking up these loads and securing these loads. I think about, you know, if it was my own personal product. So this is what the tarp job looks like. I think it's fairly clean job. I did 2 straps, one in the front, one in the middle side, I guess, but closer to the back. But then I also just put a 2-inch strap on the back there, and then I gotta make sure that these locks stay down. So I'm gonna go ahead and get a piece of wood and strap that down, and we heading out. Alright, y'all, so we just got unloaded. Sorry I couldn't record it, but it was at a job site. They was building like apartment complexes. Super tight area, a bunch of different commercial vehicles going in and out, so I had to stay focused to make sure that I wasn't blocking anybody. And then they also had like a bunch of like supplies and stuff all over the place, so trying to make sure I didn't hit anything. So just trying to stay focused and making sure that I was able to get unloaded. But I mean, he took it off hand. It was only 100 pounds, so he literally picked it up, put it on his shoulders, and carried it down to where he needed to carry it to. It was some like, felt like to me it was crown molding. Probably like 20, 30 pieces that was wrapped up, which came out to 100 pounds, a little over 100 pounds. But yeah, man, I think I'm gonna go ahead and end the video. We working on another load now. My wife called and possibly going to South Carolina. I may, like I said, I'm not sure if I recorded or not, but it's actually going right back to the place where I picked up. Well, close to that area. I wouldn't say it's the same place, but it's going to the same area. So that's where I'm headed to now. But a super quick, light load right now. And then this one also is light as well. I think it was like 1,600 pounds going to North Carolina. So I don't know if I record that or not. I'm trying to give you guys as much content as possible, but I also don't want to overdo it as well. So man, go ahead. I don't know, we'll see how it goes. But let me see if we get this load, and if we get anything else, I may go ahead, I may pick up my camera and record it, but we'll see, guys. But let me make it to this destination first, and then from there I'll see what we do. All right, I'll see y'all. Well, look who's back. So we got another load. We set for Monday. This load is literally, I picked this up in Norcross. So this is like, it was literally what, 10 minutes away from where I was at. So it's load 10 minutes away. It's going to Decatur, Alabama for Monday. So I probably won't drop this load until Sunday. So yeah, spend time with the family this weekend, and then Sunday I'll head over, which Decatur is only 4 hours away. So I'll drop this one off Monday morning, early top of the morning. I'll go ahead and drop this one off. Sorry guys, something is in my eye. But I'll go ahead and drop this one off Monday morning and finish off, because we got Monday and then Tuesday. I don't know if I work Tuesday or not, but I know Wednesday I can't work. We got to pack up. So yeah, but this load here is paying $725. So it does have 2 drops, but it's only 3,500 pounds, which I believe is going to be another HVAC unit, which he is getting set up for me right now. This dude is super funny too, the way, just his accent, the way he talk. He got the cuz and famos and all that stuff he be talking, but nah, man. And I need a haircut as well. But let me not talk y'all ears off. Let me show y'all what the load is, get loaded, and then I'm gonna head over to the drop off. Actually head over to where I'm gonna leave the
trailer at until Sunday. And yeah. All right, I think he's coming now. All right, let me stop.
All right, keep coming. Yeah, I'm about to say, yeah, turn your wheel. Yeah, the way you got it. Yep. That's straight. That's straight, yeah. Now what I'm doing, going forward or back? You going forward. Let me know what it's stuck. All right. Right there. Come back just a tad. Yep, right there. Let me go get your label.
All right, y'all. So the way it worked out was, it was exactly what the broker said though. Came out to 3,500 pounds. I got y'all all in my face. But I gotta take off this vest. But it came out to 3,500 pounds. Got me loaded with 2 extra HVACs, which it's all good. That's what we signed up for anyway. And yeah, we out, man. I'll probably go ahead and record the drop off from there, guys. And I'm gonna go ahead and put this camera down, man. All right. But make sure, again, for those that's looking to get in or already in, man, make sure you get the right load, man. They definitely will try to overload you and try to put 2 loads on your trailer when you only signed up for 1. So make sure you get the right right load. And we'll go ahead and drop this on off. And guys, we out, man. Until the next time, I'll see y'all. Peace.